Hello everybody. Welcome to We Happy Few. I know that this is the alpha version. It still is not anywhere close to being released. Let me take care of the volume. Alright. I am recording my plays of this because Day asked me to. And I think a day or so before he asked me to do this, We Happy Few put out an announcement that they were having trouble getting approved by the Australian board of whatever it is the Australian board regulates, because they positively depict drugs. And of course, We Happy Few is very much centered on pharmaceuticals, not the kind of drugs that we consider whenever it's like, oh, there's drugs running rampant on the street. It's a pharmaceutical, it's a psychotropic that causes hallucinations and feelings of euphoria. And there are serious negative consequences to taking joy, some of which have been hinted throughout the entire gameplay. And I will, you know what, I'll just talk about it while we do it. Let's do it. Because I love this game. I love the way that we're gonna do a downer. And with second wind, because I don't. We'll go through it all. Even though I'm sure by now you guys have already watched other people doing playthroughs of this. Happy is the country with no past. I know that is a quote from someone, but I don't remember who, so I'm going to say Winston Churchill because it sounds like something from Winston Churchill, even though I could look it up on my laptop. I'm not gonna. Victory! For victory over communism. I need to turn the volume. Why do I have my volume set?
Oh, heavens no. Oh, God.
It is very dangerous to put your hands outside the windows of the train.
Arthur, where are you? Arthur! How did you go? Arthur! Arthur!
I should just take my joy, shouldn't I?
4764. $17 he's had that memory repressed. So hold E to remember.
Percy! Percy!
Arthur, where are you?
What have you been up to? No one's seen you for hours.
Oh, nose to the grindstone, you know.
Then why haven't I heard a single whoosh through the door since 10 o'clock? Did you forget we're having Deirdre's birthday party?
Oh.
We've got a piñata.
Right. Brilliant. Of course.
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Well, come on then, finish up.
Just have a few more pages. I know you're very busy.
Then don't take too long to finish.
Aha! The power cell's empty.
Well, what will you do?
I'll get a new one.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Excuse me. Pardon me. This thing. Can we talk?
I haven't had breakfast or lunch, so I'm really looking forward to a slice of real cake.
Well, that sounds like your problem. Alright. June 4th, 1947. Percival and Arthur Hastings were the surprise winners of the scrap drive. Arthur told the judges that his brother has a photographic memory. Percy knew exactly where all the old cars and prams and things were in the Garden District. Percival himself rarely speaks to strangers, apparently. The scrap will be melted down to be used for the support of the war effort against the Soviet Union, which is, by all reports, going splendidly. The brothers brought in a record 1,654 pounds of scrap steel, winning them a 50-pound Victoria against Communism bond. The second prize went to Alan Unwin, who brought in 315 pounds. Sounds good to me.
We're brothers. I'll always look after you, you know that.
The idea is to forget our nightmares, Arthur, not enshrine them.
How does she know?
Well, I expect you in the conference room presently. Don't dawdle. You don't want to miss the piñata.
Rightio.
Wasn't Prudence supposed to be coming back today? I made her a welcome back card.
Since it doesn't matter, I'm accepting
I
everything.
think not.
Like I said, since it doesn't matter what I choose on these, I'm just going to accept everything, good and bad. And one of the articles I read, 1952. One of the articles I read basically said that it's kind of ironic that the Australian board for whatever censorship, I guess, is censoring the game. Clive Birtwistle. You're off at the party, aren't you? Miss Bing has written Clive a letter. Mr. Birdwhistle, it is so thoughtful of you to suggest how best to rearrange the department. I am always grateful for suggestions from junior staff of how to best to do my job as director. However, I am afraid it would be destabilizing to swap your office with that of Mr. Hastings. Fortunately, turnover in his department is high. If Prue don't return soon, I don't see why you couldn't have her office. In the meantime, I suggest you pop another joy, and you'll feel the sunshine on your face, whether you have a window or not. All the best, Victor Bing, Director. Ooh, that's new, I think.
My birth whistle. You're off at the party, aren't you?
Just trying to steal your window. Restricted area, no authorized personnel beyond this point. So, what was I saying? So, I mean, here we've already seen one of the side effects of taking psychotropic drugs, which is that you have a certain...
Well, let's see what Miss Bing thinks of your work now, Clive.
You have a certain amount of memory degradation because psychotropic drugs, as the name says, is a drug that works on your mind.
Isn't it?
And most psychotropic drugs that deal with mood enhancement or mood leveling directly affect the way that the nerve signals travel in your brain. They either disrupt, enhance, or lower the conductivity along those nerve pathways. So
I hope I did that right.
So your memory gets messed up because the memory neurons get interrupted, enhanced, or whatever, depending on the action of the drug that you're taking.
No, thank you.
That's all I'm trying to get at. And that is accurate. That is truly something that does happen with psychotropic drugs. It's, again, drugs as a pharmaceutical.
Whatever happened to you, Prudence?
Not necessarily as a, come back. Vicious foreshadowing. That was my name, the name of my band in Rock Band. I thought that was an awesome name, and I want to use it in everything now. The Vicious Foreshadowing. Vicious! So, there we see Prudence and her sister, or something. Everything's getting approved, man. All of it. No censorship. And as far as I can tell, the Australian Board for Censorship or whatever is only viewing the word drug as actual street, non-chemically formulated nonsense. Whereas this is dealing specifically with a chemical formulation that was made by us, that is by humans, not appearing in nature anywhere, not a reproduction of a naturally occurring hormone, which quite a number of antidepressants are nowadays. And given the time frame, this actually really goes well with, was it laudanum, I think? I have to look this up now, hold on. So, quick Google search. Go away. Quick Google search. Best known example of birth defects being caused by hazardous substance is from the late 1950s and early 1960s in the UK, with deformities caused by mothers taking the drug thalidomide, which was, I believe, an antidepressant. And it's also one of the drugs used to treat chronic pain disorders. And in the United States, the same thing happened, not with that antidepressant, but with a very similar antidepressant. And whenever we get to the world of this game, there are no children.
No, leave me alone. I took my joy. No, leave me alone. No. Oh, hi, Arthur.
Thalidomide.
We seem to be a bit behind in our work now that you mention it. Odd. I never noticed that. We should fix that, or empty the bucket at least.
There you are. You nearly missed the piñata. It's the most adorable Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it. You smash it until all the candy comes out. Come on, hit it! Hit it! Hit it!
Give it a whack!
Hit it!
You are off your joy. Take one of mine. Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
Take your joy. Take your joy.
Probably a bad time to ask for that raise.
Alright, so...
Downer! Black dog!
You smelled gas?
Flaming Nora.
Forget him, there's no time.
Alright, so, there are many side effects that happen whenever you stop taking an antidepressant, antitropic, or rather antipsychotropic, or I suppose psychotropic, whatever. Whenever you stop taking medications that deal and interact specifically on the brain. Especially if it's something that you've been taking for 17 years. Ish. Oh, I feel so... Story found. Add a journal, find a way out. People are suspicious of you. That's a little yellow eye in the corner there. Alright. What people? I'm the only person here. Now they can be even more suspicious of me.
Those bobbies seem to have locked me in. I suppose they were worried about the gas. Terribly thoughtful of them.
Run, rat, run. Alright, so... I need to turn off the radio.
I'm joking. I had a fantastic night's sleep. Actually...
Alright, so... Of the many side effects that you can experience whenever you're suddenly not taking a medication anymore is a recurrence and worsening of the original symptoms. In cases of anxiety, or and sometimes depression, you get feelings of paranoia, like people are looking at you weird because you're anxious. You already feel like something is hunting you. So the people in your immediate vicinity are paying more attention to you.
I'll need some odds and bobs and bits of metal to make a lockpick.
Than they should be. You feel singled out. You feel persecuted. And I think that this game does a great job of amplifying all of that. It amplifies what psychotropic drugs do when you're on them, and it amplifies what it do when you're off them. But more than that, it makes it real. People really are trying to get you. People really are trying to hurt you and kill you. Because that is the world in which they live.
There we go. 3 years of the salamander and me getting into constant trouble finally pay off.
Who? No, I don't want to craft, actually. I want to see what I have. Oh, good. I do have a weapon. I have a weapon. Why are I not use? Mouse wheel down. Oh, Q.
What happened to him? Or rather, who? Needs must when the devil drives.
Diary of Theodore Minor. So, in the United States, there was a... I thought it was an antidepressant, but it might have actually been a... a birth control pill which caused which caused miscarriages when the woman stopped taking. Ah!
We've come to the end of our time.
Jesus. Oh my God.
So the drug that I was thinking of that caused pinheadedness, which is one reason why there were so many children born with that particular birth defect during the Depression era. And I'm sorry, that really threw me off my lecture mode. How dare you? How dare you, creepy man? So it caused pinheadedness, as well as miscarriages and other premature birth defect style of things. And it literally made women sterile, or at least unable to bear children, or incredibly unwise to bear children.
Too bad I don't have any other hatches to go to just yet.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem. Defects and
Bloody hell, I'm in the Golden District. I hope they're not really cannibals here. I've got to get back to the parade, and that means I've got to get into the village. Mustn't rush things, though. They don't take kindly to downers in Hamlin Village. I'll need to defend myself. A pointy stick, or a large polo mallet or something.
Perfect. I have a rock.
Well, I can drink this all right. They put joy in the water in the village. I'm going to get awfully thirsty there if I don't bring a whack of canteens. We'll figure out how to get joy out of the water.
So we should see it soon enough. That, there's always at least one.
Don't worry, mate. It'll be over soon.
Aren't we dressed up all fancy?
Suit yourself is added to your journal. Craft a torn suit.
I just want you to know that I appreciate what you do.
Oh, you're too kind.
I swear it's all true, Constable. At least, it's what I remember.
What if this is it? What if this is all there is?
Didn't I just do that?
Nice clothes. Want to trade?
Okie dokie, bye now.
Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may be in the Garden District.
It's strange. There's things here you could never find in Hamlin Village.
Alright. Now maybe I can talk a little bit, even though I probably should.
How do you sleep?
I saw a dead man. His lips were green. He'd been eating grass, do you see? Because he was starving. We're not cows. We can't eat grass.
Good, good electric slide over there. I appreciate that.
How many holes would it take to fill the elderly hall?
Some of these houses look lived in. So someone's figured out how to get by. If I'm gonna make a go of it, I may have to burgle some of their things. I'll be a lot safer burgling if I can get in and out without being seen.
You know, a lot more tips this time round.
That's Mrs. Marley. She used to live down the road. I wonder if she's got anything useful. Oh, bollocks. I've become a ghoul. Oh, great. Now I've got a rock.
Don't mind me. I'm doing nothing suspicious. I'm also not reading those yet. Are you gonna say it? You gonna say it?
I'll tell you a secret.
Don't go opening people's boxes just because they're not looking, right?
Nope. There is one line that the crying ladies say. It makes me think that joy causes birth defects or makes the people in this world sterile. And maybe we'll find someone who says the line. Excuse me, can we talk?
It's not my fault. I'm being controlled by someone I've never even met.
We'll need something to believe in out here. It's the unbelievers who give up the fastest.
So I've owned this for a while, and I've played it time and time again because I enjoy it. It is very relaxing and also very...
The Rose of Gilead. Percy told me about these. They're good for wounds and things. I should grab a bunch of these. Not a lot of useful plants in the village.
So I know how to do the early game. I don't know very much about once I get into the village. I've only gotten there once, I think. I've already been down here.
Supreme executive power must derive from a mandate from the masses.
Are you gonna say it? You're gonna say it? I don't want to talk in case you say it. You're not gonna say it. I shouldn't be disappointed that they're not going to say the by far the creepiest thing that I've heard any of them say.
bury them? I'll ask you that. You never see them burying them. Like it's some big secret.
Okay, that's pretty creepy. Thank you for reminding me that that was a line that was sayable. I don't appreciate it. So, one of those lines that they just said, it's funny how fast food turns. Barely have time to eat it. The dilation or misinterpretation of time, since time is a fully constructed phenomena within the brain. The fact that somebody misses time is not surprising.
Let me know how you're planning to spend the holiday.
I found a screw loose. All these rocks. I'm good at finding rocks. I need to find some sticks. Yeah, they're not dangerous. Be a dangerous little Arthur. Most dangerous Arthur anybody knows. Okay, I won't be the most dangerous author anybody knows. Most dangerous Arthur. It'll be fun. Run, Arthur, be free! Be free! I mean, even I can run longer than that. Not much longer, and probably a lot slower than what you just ran. But I can. Probably. I tried real hard, and it was a good day, and my feet weren't swollen, and didn't feel like I was walking on grass. Then I could do it. Probably. Yeah, I bet I could do it. If no other reason, just to show Arthur that I could. If I really wanted to. If I really, really wanted to. And then I wouldn't walk for a few days.
Berries? They grow all over the garden district, don't they? I should stock up. I don't even know what else I'll need. Better figure that out soon.
I'm just going to take a walk in this wonderful, beautiful park where there are no sticks. No sticks anywhere. Do you hear me? There are no sticks. Damn tree, give me some sticks.
Light's coming on.
I found a stick on the ground once. And this is actually a true story of me playing the game. Once, I found a stick on the ground. That's it. That's the story. No big reveal. It's just this one time I happened to find a stick on the ground, and I was so excited because I finally found a stick in its natural habitat. Under a tree, on the ground, in the garden district, where you would think there would be quite a lot of sticks, right? But, as we see, not so much. It's so peaceful. I don't want to really talk all that much because I'm just enjoying the ambient music and the beautiful scenery. Much like with Skyrim, I play this just so I can go around and pick flowers.
Guess it's just me and the bobbies now.
I'm not joking particularly much on that one either. This is new. I mean, I remember one of the first playthroughs I watched, they actually enforced curfew. Can I sneak through here?
They walk by night. Not everybody knows that.
Please don't attack me. I'm trying to go home. All right, let's listen to the happy Jack. Whatever.
Something that happened. Tonight's story is called.
Tonight's story is called Sim Pays Attention while doing other things. I don't have a stick. I can have an enhanced rock. I don't have that. I can make that. Some more enhanced rocks. There. That should be enough rocks. Is my hunger?
I feel terrible.
Tonight's story is called The Pied Piper.
Oh.
And some people say it actually took place. And some people say it actually took place in our very own Hamlet. But who knows? The past is deep and dark and filled with mists and strange things that move in the night. Best not to go into it.
Who's
Strange
suspicious
things
of
happen
me?
in fairy tales, but even stranger and nastier things happen in the past. Thank goodness we're not living then, and our days are bright and filled with joy.
Ha ha.
Once upon a time, there was a town called Hamlin. It wasn't the name of the town. That's just what it was called. It was a happy town, full of rich merchants and hard-working smiths and beautiful girls and jovial lads.
I'm bored.
But awful things can happen to good people. And little did the people of Hamlin know, but dark times were coming. There was a hard winter when wolves came down from the hills and attacked the sheep. And the wolves brought crows which would wait for the sight of rotting meat and then descend in swarms. And some said, though no one ever saw it, that the crows did not always wait for death. And some said it was not only wolves who were murdering animals out in the fields. The crows knew that they only said caw. But if the winter was hard, the summer was harder still. For the summer brought rats. They came onto the beaches from a ship that had sailed from France. At first there were just a few, but soon there were hundreds of rats, then thousands of them. They swarmed into the town, and they said to themselves in their rat speech, "Here is a rich town. Let us eat everything we can."
Yep.
So they ate the grain, they chewed their way into cupboards to eat the cheese, they even ate chickens when they could quarter them. The villagers, well, they were at their wits' end. You can kill one rat, you can set traps for 12 rats. And who can kill 1,000 rats? As long as there are rats. In weeks there'll be dozens. And in weeks after that, there will be thousands again. The villagers were in despair. But one day, a tall man came to town. He was a piper. He played a pipe. So they called him the Pied Piper, for he wore a coat of many colors. He was not very good at playing the pipes, but when the villagers told him to stop playing, he told them, "Although I'm not very good at playing to entertain people, I know what to play to rats." And who would play music for rats, you ask? Well, the piper never explained, but he offered the town to pipe their rats away. He said, "It'll cost you a great deal of money. But I promise you, when it's all over, there will be no more rats." He even promised that if he left a single rat, they need pay him nothing. Now, the villagers of Hamlin were not poor, but they liked their money. Still, they thought they would never have to pay the piper. I mean, after all, who could possibly rid the town of every last rat? They agreed with the piper's terms. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune again tomorrow evening and...
Alright, so I was listening to that because that, again, goes back to the overall theme that I've seen in this game. 4, 5, 6, yeah.
Sweet dreams, Arthur.
And I've noticed before that the voices of the rats was German. I had not noticed that the voice of the Pied Piper was American. The fact that he was American makes me wonder. Wonder. Why? Why? We went away. And I wonder where we will stay. But mostly I wonder why it was an American. Oh, God. I also don't think that making the rats German was a good choice. But I think that because of the comic book Mouse, M-A-U-S-E, which was about or M-A-U-S, just M-A-U-S, a graphic novel by Art Spiegelman that was about, well, it's about World War II and the persecution of the Jews, specifically Art's father, who was a survivor of one of the concentration camps. I believe it was Auschwitz, but I'm not certain anymore. I don't have my copy handy. I believe it's in storage, but I'm not entirely certain. And how Art's father's Jewishness influenced how Art grew up. And I just think that making the rats German is very rude and disrespectful to that piece of art, that literary work, which I personally really do believe is an amazing piece of art. It does an amazing job of conveying the horror that
roast beef Wellington pie, shepherd's pie,
Exactly. That's exactly how I'm gonna feel when I go on my diet. Exactly. Our experiences will be equivalent, and in no way, in absolutely no way, will I be diminishing your
I'd really better
experience.
find something to drink soon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that actually. Oh yeah, let me run back. Good on ya. Good on you for sticking to that no carbs diet. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the result. If there is a positive result, I'm looking forward to that. There we go. 0 calorie water.
I can't remember what happened next. Where are the Russians? We beat him, but I can't remember if we killed him or not.
That ties in very well with what Jack was saying last night. Very, very good. I see that you also have a radio. In Mouse, Germans were fat cats. Americans were dogs. The French were frogs, I believe. All Jews were mice. That was a design choice that Art made, and I think that he...
At least I don't have to wear that idiotic mask anymore.
So it is a mask. I thought it was just people's perceptions. It's an actual physical mask. Good to know. I don't like these people congregating in the middle of the street and talking and leaving me out of it. I feel left out. Just like in real life, whenever I walk around and I see people congregating in groups, I'm like, they're talking about me, aren't they? They're talking about me. You! Are you talking?
I wonder if Prue's out here somewhere. Or if she found a way out.
Prunella? Prunella, are you talking about me? I like your hair. It looks very nice. It did. It looked very nice. Imogen?
Mum, Dad, I've come home.
The door's a perception
Well, don't you worry, dearie. Everything will be all right from now on.
Are you gonna say it? Are you gonna say it? I'm not trying to pickpocket her. I just want to know if she's gonna say the other creepy thing. The two sorts of people you don't see in this game: the elderly and the young. Everyone in this game is roughly 20 to 45. Or at least, that's my rough estimate, because nowadays people can look fairly young while still being fairly old. Are you eating a rock? Were you just eating a rock? Or a clump of dirt?
Strange how everyone...
I actually like that too. It is breaking the fourth wall. It is calling into recognize that they're all basically made from the same template and they're just spawns of each other with randomized names. But I do like that they... That one! Tiny toys and tiny beds, tiny...
I'm only mad when the wind's from the northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
I try not to talk about the... Sometimes I can't help it.
I want to talk to you about the you-know.
I'm late for a very important date.
You should have stayed in the village. There's food there.
Oh, you're not gonna... Tiny beds, tiny toys in every house. Because there's no children. They can't have children. I'm hoping that that is going to be a big reveal. That whenever the game is finally released, that will be a canon part of the story. Whereas right now it's like, I think that just because of the dialogue, the story choices that Uncle Jack tells at nighttime, they're all children's stories. They're all brushing under the rug that there aren't children. And the Pied Piper gets his revenge by stealing the children. Because, in this case, Hamden, the village didn't pay whenever he got all the rats to leave. So that's my thought. I think I am going to leave the game here for now, because I'm just gonna run around and enjoy myself and relax. And then I'm probably gonna turn on some Slime Rancher and run around and relax. Because I want to have a nice relaxing Friday. Even though this will go up on Monday, probably. Or maybe it'll go up tomorrow, I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. I really do enjoy this game. I think that it handles the treatment of psychotropic drugs and mental illnesses very well. It covers so many things, and it does it really well. It's the centerpiece of this game. The point of this game is to show mental disease and how overuse and abuse of psychotropic drugs and pharmaceuticals affects the society. I want to know what happens in the rest of this world. I want to know, as I was just saying, I want to know if what I think...
All those years on Joy, we'll never get them back, will we?
No, all those years on Joy? No, you won't get them back. One of the real dangers of being on antidepressants, and I'm saying this as a person who is diagnosed with severe major depressive disorder, and as a person who is involved in the mental health field as a volunteer life coach and as a crisis counselor for youth, once again in a volunteer capacity. If you're on antidepressants for a long time, certain antidepressants were never meant to be a long-term solution. The one that I've been on is a replacement for a naturally occurring chemical in the brain, serotonin. So it's sertraline. It stimulates the neurons in the hypothalamus and the pituitary and all the endocrine systems to produce serotonin so that my mood is naturally elevated. This messes with my sleep cycle, which means that my melatonin levels are low, which means my serotonin continues to be low, and so on and so forth. Truth in advertising, I actually stopped taking my medication last October. I don't really regret doing that because it's giving my body a chance. Shut up, Jack.
And soon discovered that fresh vegetables would cure the problem right away.
It's giving my body a chance to level out so that I can determine if I still need to be on antidepressants. And I do, because I'm still overly sensitive about a number of things. I'm just being negligent at this point by not doing it. And I'm also trying out alternative therapies where I'm not on medications. Because I don't want to be on a pill for the rest of my life, even though I probably will have to be on a pill for the rest of my life because of all the other nonsense. chronic pain conditions, thyroid conditions, autoimmune disorders, all that will mean that I'm taking at least one pill for the rest of my life. Maybe not the same pill, but a pill, and that's annoying. We weren't meant to be pill-eating machines. Well, we were meant to be eating machines, just not pill-eating machines. We're hungry hippos, is what I'm saying. Final thoughts. Am I going to do this as a series? I don't know. I think I probably will, because I do love this game. I like playing it. I like that I haven't played it in quite a long while. Because even when my computer was in the worst possible position, I would still turn it on just to play this so I could run around and pick flowers. Because if there's a game where I can run around and pick flowers and have that be the game, I will play that game all day long. And I will enjoy the heck out of it. Because I can't run around in fields and pick flowers in real life anymore. That's just not something that is feasible for me to do. I'm still not going to play any horseback riding games because that hurts too much. I miss that too much. I never went around and picked flowers all that much when I was able to do so, but I do that now because I do like the idea. I miss it. So yeah, I will probably have this be a thing that I do every once in a while. So I hope that We Happy Few is able to get open communication going with the Australian Classification Board and figure out what they can do so that the game can be marketed there. Because the game has so much value in terms of really showing what major depressive disorder, hyper anxiety disorder, and not paranoid schizophrenia, but paranoia as its own disorder really are like, and what being on too much, and I have to say that whenever you are on joy and you hit those highs, which we will see whenever I eventually get around to it, whenever I continue playing, we will see whenever you take joy, it goes too far. You're on too high of a dose of an antidepressant. You're experiencing hypermania, you're experiencing hyperaphasia, which is rapid speech, you're experiencing hallucinations. I keep wanting to say hallucinogens. You are experiencing hallucinogens in the terms of hallucinations. You aren't experiencing real reality because there's a psychotropic chemical troping your psyche. So yeah, and the crash that you get whenever you come off of joy. You experience extreme thirst, extreme hunger, you're nauseated, and if the game decides that you've taken too much joy and experience an extreme level 1 overdose, you lose control of your character, you wake up somewhere dangerously dehydrated, dangerously hungry, and if you started out hungry and you ran and you drank some water in the parade, I think, or the village, you drink water that's unfiltered and it has that joy in it, and you wake up and you're screwed. I had that happen one of the first, well, I think the only time, that's whenever I got to the Garden District, or out of the Garden District. I got to the village and I broke into somebody's house and I ate their pancakes and I drank from their water faucet because I was hungry and thirsty. And I was already on joy because I had to take that in order to walk down the street. And then I hit an overdose state and I woke up, I guess, a day later, maybe 2 days later, and I was dying of hunger, I was dying of thirst, and I couldn't drink the water from the faucet or else risk getting another overdose. So I ended up dying. While it is unlikely that you will overdose on the antidepressant that I take. It is possible. And on other antidepressants, Percocet being the big one that I can think of off the top of my head, it is not only possible but easy to overdose, and it's easy to be on too high of a dose, because those are things that don't just regulate serotonin, that is serotonin production. It replaces serotonin with a engineered chemical that acts like serotonin, and it does it more efficiently and effectively. I don't actually know if that's true for Percocet now that I've said that, but I know it's true for other psychotropic antidepressants. And I know that there's one that has those same characteristics while also increasing the So there are two types of cellular bodies that transmit nerve signals in the body. There are myelinated and non-myelinated nerve tissues. Myelinated nerve tissues transmit nerve signals quickly. That is the fast response twitch muscles. And at the base of your skull, there is an area where it is myelinated, and that is where the nerve signals come into your brain and they transfer to that, and then they transfer into your brain. There are certain conditions and certain things that you can do while you're alive which decrease the myelination on that area of your cranium and within your cranial nerve stem. And there is at least one antidepressant which plates that in gold, basically. So it makes that area hyper reactive. And it is my impression that joy, which comes in joy plain, joy vanilla, joy strawberry, and other flavors, each flavor is a different type of antidepressant psychotropic manufactured drug or pharmaceutical drug, whichever, or a manufactured psychotropic or manufactured pharmaceutical drug, whichever phraseology you prefer. It is my impression that the strawberry flavored is the one that has the most negative reactions, that people are allergic to, so they can't take it. Take that into the real world, and that would be... Actually, I don't know. There's Zoloft, Percocet. Laudanum was a thing, but I'm not certain what laudanum was actually prescribed for anymore, because it's not really prescribed anymore. So let's just do a quick search. So Abilify, which has horrible horrible side effects, Adipin or Doxepin, Anafranil or Clomipramine, Aplinzin or bupropion, which I am also on. That is one of the ones that increases nerve signal, and I am on that because of, well, nerve damage because of my stroke and because of my spinal conditions. I'm not going to read all of these. Trazodone, that has some pretty serious side effects. I think that probably Trazodone would be the equivalent of strawberry joy, because Trazodone, if I'm remembering correctly, it makes your blood toxic, and you have to get blood tests every 6 months, Or I might be mixing that up with an anti-schizophrenic medication, because there is some crossover in medications. There are 3 medications that I remember seeing prescribed a lot for people who were who were suffering from either bipolar or manic depressive disorder, manias, depressions, paranoid schizophrenia, and major depressive disorder. And I believe trazodone was one of those, but it might have just had a very similar name. Seraphim or fluoxetine. Fluoxetine? Or Seroquel XR. I remember seeing Seroquel before, but I don't remember anything about it. And I'm not saying any of these things to speak ill of these pharmaceutical drugs or their usage, because I'm not a doctor. As much experience as I have in the medical field, I cannot prescribe any of these things, nor would I want to, because there's no way for me to know what the actual result would be if I were to do that. I've now spent about 30 minutes more talking about this, and I'm not even playing the game. So I'm going to let you go, and I will continue playing this because I think it is a valuable game and I enjoy playing it. And I will continue to have, or to continue in this theme of talk whenever I get to playing this every single time, because I love this game. And this is what I think about when I'm playing this game. So, literature, drugs that are pharmaceuticals, mental disorders. That's how my brain goes. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share. Tell me what you want me to play on Twitch, Twitter, Discord,